Now to that breaking news for our viewers in the West. Reports of a serious boat fire off the coast of California with dozens of people on board. A rescue operation is underway right now, and ABC's Will Carr has the very latest. Good morning, Will.
In Cecilia, authorities tell us that at least 30 people are missing right now on the waters of the Pacific Ocean. That is where a desperate search is taking place, not far from where we are right now. The first call came in just after 3 a.m. this morning, and we're seeing the images of that charter boat. You can see the boat is a ball of flames on the water. We know that at least 30 people are missing. 5 have been rescued. Authorities say that this is a charter boat. It is a 79-foot boat that can house more than 40 people on any given night. It's unclear exactly how many people were on that boat. We also don't know exactly what caused this fire. We do know authorities are desperately combing the waters, looking for survivors at this point.
This latest mass shooting prompting a new round of sorrow, anger, but also new calls for action. President Trump returning from Camp David today, saying his administration is committed to ending the menace of mass attacks. Congress returns to the Capitol next week. Will there be an agreement this time?
Tonight, President Trump says this latest shooting rampage has not changed the conversation around gun reform.
This really hasn't changed anything. We're doing a package, and that's irrespective of what happened yesterday in Texas.
As Congress is preparing to start a new session, Washington is under pressure to act on the issue of gun control.
Why should Americans believe that now is different?
They've been doing a lot of work and having to do with guns, and I think you're going to see some interesting things coming along.
In August alone, mass shootings taking over 50 lives in this country, including 22 in El Paso, 9 in Dayton, and now 7 in Odessa.
In houses of worship across Texas this morning, guns now welcome in the pews, unless the church puts up a notice like this one.
Am I more safe in your church if the person next to me is carrying? In this church, you probably are.
It's a view not shared by everyone.
We don't believe there's any place for guns in church. It's that simple.
New laws going into effect today will loosen the Lone Star State's gun rules and will allow firearms to be stored in vehicles on school property, block landlords from prohibiting tenants from keeping guns and ammo on their property, and loosen rules dictating how guns must be stored in foster homes.
This is absolutely the wrong direction for us to take. It's going to be measured in the lives lost, not in the lives saved.
Texas Republican governor pushing back.
What do you say to people who look at that and wonder if Texas is going the wrong direction to stopping more shootings?
Some of these laws were enacted for the purpose of making our community safer.
A manhunt is underway for 4 suspects linked to the kidnapping of a 6-year-old little girl. Amy Lee de Jager was snatched in front of Laerskool Collega Park in Vanderbijl Park this morning. Her mother was apparently dropping her off at school at the time. For the latest on the story, we're joined now on the line by police spokesperson Captain K. Makubela. Captain Makubela, give us the latest on what you know happened this morning.
Yes, I can tell you that there is a 6-year-old girl who was kidnapped in Vanderbijl Park this morning. The people who were driving the Toyota Fortuner white in color took the child away from the mother and they drove off, and calling for anyone with the information to contact the nearest police station or use 08600 111.
Captain, am I correct to understand that this little girl was snatched from her mother's car?
Yeah, the child was about to be taken in the schoolyard when these people took away the child from the mother and they drove off.
We want to get right to Hurricane Dorian. Category 5 storm hitting the Bahamas, heading for the southeast. One of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in recorded history, compact but fierce.
And that's why mandatory evacuations are already in place from Florida all the way up to North Carolina, and the storm leaving so much devastation in its path. Take a look
at this apartment building on Abaco Island, completely destroyed.
Here's what this Category 5 storm looks like from the International Space Center's camera. And take a look at this image, chilling, showing what it's like directly inside the eye of that storm.
That's the eye right now, but the winds are fierce. Here's what we know. Dorian has made landfall in the Bahamas 3 times so far as a Category 5 storm. Winds up to 185 miles an hour. The National Hurricane Center says it's tied with the 1935 Labor Day storm for the strongest hurricane to make landfall in the Atlantic.
Britain could be heading for a general election as the high-stakes political chess around Brexit seemingly enters its endgame. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says the UK will leave the European Union on October the 31st, with or without a deal, and will suspend Parliament for more than a month before that date, limiting the time his opponents have to block a no-deal Brexit. That's brought the UK's constitutional crisis to a head this week. An alliance of opposition parties and rebels from Johnson's Conservative Party plans to seize control of Parliament when it returns from a recess on Tuesday. They want to overturn Johnson's wafer-thin majority to push through legislation that would tie the government's hands, blocking a no-deal Brexit that they and business groups say would be economically ruinous. On Monday, Johnson's political enforcers issued a threat to the Conservative rebels. Toe the line or you will be expelled from the party and banned from standing as a candidate in any future election.
Police have fired rubber bullets at looters in Tembisa, east of Johannesburg. This after some residents looted foreign-owned shops in the area this morning.
Yes, indeed. It's still used. We still have police, a heavy presence of police here in Zinga, in Tembisa here. Some parts of the street still cordoned off. And on my left, we still have firefighters. You know, they just seemed to have taken out some things out of the shop that was also set alight this morning. Seems there's progress that's being made here. I think just trying to clean up so that they can get back into the shop. We still are hearing from police so far that there is approximately 8 people that have been arrested thus far here as well. But for now, the situation remains calm with police, with a very heavy police presence, police as well as Ekurhuleni Metro Police, as well as the 2 fire trucks that have been here since this morning trying to quell out the fire.
Shit, ayan, ay. Nako, patay. Shit, ayan, ay. Nako, patay.
French children returning to school this week after the summer break will notice changes to their classroom as a new law comes into effect. From today, all classrooms in France will be required to display both the French and European Union flags. Supporters describe it as an important step forward for French education, but it's not without criticism.
Well, these changes apply to all schools, public and private, although not universities. Now, anyone who comes to France knows that already French flags are displayed outside public buildings, including schools. Now they're going to be compulsory in the classroom as well. It's the French flag, the European flag as well, and the French national motto, liberty, fraternity, equality. I got that the wrong way around, but you know what I mean. And the words of the national anthem, the Marseillaise. They won't have to put the flag itself up. It's sufficient just to have, for instance, a poster with the symbol of the flag contained within it.
President Moon Jae-in is in Thailand for the first leg of a three-nation tour of Southeast Asia. He held a summit today in Bangkok with his Thai counterpart, Prayut Chan-o-cha, discussing various ways to boost bilateral cooperation.
So President Moon and Prime Minister Prayut have agreed to enhance bilateral cooperation in many sectors, and one of the main sectors is technology related to the Fourth Industrial Revolution. South Korea and Thailand will prepare for the Fourth Industrial Revolution together by boosting the two countries' cooperation in future technologies, including biohealth and robotics. Moon says Korea's policies for innovative growth, combined with Thailand's 4.0 policy and Eastern Economic Corridor, will help accelerate the process. Now, for viewers not familiar with the policies, Thailand 4.0 is an economic model that aims to transform the country's economy from one that's dependent on agriculture to one based around innovation and R&D through new growth engines.